humans. Now, the irony of recording a video on this subject within the midst of the most glittery and romantic and pink and sparkly update is not lost on me, but today I kind of want to delve into a discussion surrounding the intersection of fashion and identity within Royale High. Now, while the promise of inclusive customization has been made with a masculine scale coming, the reality of the current masculine toggles really falls short for many players. Today, I kind of want to explore the challenges faced by gamers who are seeking authentic representation in their virtual personas and OCs in-game. And this subject is something that is very talked about and very discussed within the community. So I wanted to dive into kind of a debate and explore possible solutions for a more inclusive gaming experience for all of our masculine players, masculine presenting, trans players, or players who like to wear masculine OCs, which is actually a large portion of this community. Despite new sets coming out with masculine toggles, such as the latest Snow Swan set, there are actually in-game items that sort of fail to authentically complement the masculine body types. And even the visual representation, even with the best intentions, they still remain distinctly feminine. You can see in a screenshot by Lemon Sorbabes that even though they release sets with mask toggles, they're still not looking masculine. They're still looking and feeling very feminine.
Alright, maybe I was wrong or they updated it. Let's check. Starting with the human arms. Well. Okay, maybe the human bodice. Oh. So the new corset. Yeah. What about the new toggles for the puffy jacket? Oh, just one. Funny thing is the only item fitting is the new skirt, haha. Well, this is what you'll call mask toggles.
And not only were people upset with the direction that got taken for all the toggles with the Snow Swan set, in the latest item that was released, and this was the grand finale prize of the advent calendar, men still aren't feeling represented, or masculine presenting body types are still feeling like they are lacking in terms of options. And there are other issues that male presenting players are facing in terms of discrimination and how they are treating a game. We can see from this rant here. I was playing musical chairs and someone, I guess, thought it would be funny to say things like "marry me" and "I'm gonna kiss you," and they kept following me around. I even told them I was a minor and to stop, but they wouldn't. I was feeling very uncomfortable by all of this. Am I overreacting to a joke? I don't know, but it was creepy to me. So not only are masculine players not feeling represented by body types in the game, but they're actively being treated differently than female presenting players in terms of how other characters interact with them and communicate with them. And this is a big issue that we need to be addressing and talking about. I myself have been really concerned about how people are feeling represented in the game. So I went ahead and made a thread, and I got a lot of really positive and engaging feedback on ways players could be better represented and just talking about people's opinions in general. So not only did people reply to this thread, but I went ahead and made a Google form, and I'll even link to that in the description of this video. And it's basically a questionnaire kind of trying to ask you guys how you feel about how changes could be made. But I think the most common theme that I've seen in a lot of these responses is, as a mask player, the new system has made me feel like I can't use and enjoy new things unless I make any sort of magic to style it. It's small as the femme body, and it makes me uncomfortable. I just hope the new scaling system arrives soon. And not only are people wanting masculine toggles, but just other scales to sort of represent different body types in general as well. Prince Frosty here said, "I'm a non-binary, I'm a mask player, and I'm very disappointed in the new body types. I thought Royale High was going forward with masculine representation with the SP set, but it just feels like they're going backwards, and I also called out Lance on stream. As a trans man, it makes me uncomfortable. I used Royale High as a way to express myself. I feel like I'm being forced to detransition in game. If they wanted to do this, at least keep the OG mask body for the items too, as well as the new mask body until they finish the body scale." I went ahead and hopped in a server here with somebody from the Royale High community who would like to share their thoughts on this. And this is Alien Prince here on Twitter, who was kind enough to reach out. I thought it would be important to hear from the actual voices about how everyone feels about the current system, how it could improve, and what challenges players face when they are male presenting and trying to customize their characters in game. So everybody say hello to Apollo. They have been playing Royale High since 2018. That that is who we are having our interview with. This game means a lot to me as a trans man, and it has been a place for me to express myself for years. However, I feel like we've been struggling as of lately. With the new toggles, it feels identical to that of a female body type. I myself didn't know it was a masculine toggle until it was pointed out to me. Masculine players have always had it a little more difficult here, hence the one notable male fashion trend, the pageant skirt one, being highly mocked to this day still. I am not trying to sit here and go, oh, men have it so rough, boohoo, but like, this castle is a safe haven for so many trans folks and others. We need proper representation for gender euphoria, if nothing else. I myself have been dressing feminine more often as of late because it's just so difficult to present masculine in this game right now. And honestly, that's something that desperately needs to change, and soon. I've heard talks of a slider system going around on X, and I really hope it's true. That could not only solve this problem, but also maybe give us plus-size avatars as well. I love this game so dearly. It's been important to me for years, and it will be for years to come. I just want everyone to feel comfortable and represented. I think that's all. And I have to say, I completely agree with them, and thank you so much for sharing your experience, and everybody else who is sharing their experiences in the thread, and just on all the other platforms. There have been so many TikToks, so many tweets about this topic, and luckily we have seen some little hints from the devs that things will be changing with sliders, but I agree that everybody should feel represented, considering the heart and soul of this game is customization. That is what carries this game. And Mary said, thank you so much for agreeing to interview me. It means a lot that people are willing to speak up on this. And I think the best thing that we can do whenever we see any players that don't feel represented is speak up on their behalf, give them a platform, and give them a chance to share their voice. And this is just a friendly reminder to always hold space for people who need it, for people whose voices aren't being heard. Give them a chance to vocalize how they are feeling and share those feelings with other people. And if you guys would like to follow Apollo, they are royal.olympus on the Clock app. That means TikTok, everybody. So go ahead and give them a follow, and you can see more of their thoughts and more of their creations. Now, virtually every social media platform has had people discussing this, and I think there have been some really interesting feedback, and I think you can just see the general frustration of people in video format on TikTok as well.
I don't get it.
That's because it's not for you. Because you have everything. Everything is for you. And this one thing is for him.
So as of now, I already have 261 responses, and this is the questionnaire, the Google form that I created. Here's a really good look at the first question. Do you currently wear or use masculine body toggles? So the only percentage of people that said no is 14%. So 65.8% of players use masculine body or use masculine toggles. And 28.8% of players sometimes do. So actually, the minority of players don't use masculine body types or toggles. In terms of satisfaction, out of all of these responses, the vast majority said that they were extremely dissatisfied with the current masculine body type. So 1 was the least satisfied, 10 was the most satisfied, and this data does not lie. People are not happy. Then I asked people some questions about if they felt like there were enough accessories for male presenting players to wear in-game currently, and overwhelmingly, that answer was no. And the same thing went for hairstyles for male presenting players in-game. So let's just take a look at these masculine styles that we have in game right now. There really aren't that many options, as you can see. It is a very, very small list compared to the amount for females. And look at all of these old hairstyles. I would say a vast majority of the hair that is available for mask players is very old, very outdated, and is just not meshed well given the current state of Royale High. And this is a travesty. Even looking at the accessories, you can see that a lot of these are just not really geared towards masculine players. And the ones that are few and far between, or again, were created a very long time ago. This perceived lack of consideration for diverse gender expressions within the game's customizations options has really fueled a lot of frustration amongst players, sparking lots of debates, anger, and questions about the need for more inclusive representation. Now, the only category where it was sort sort of an even split, but still the majority veered towards no, was asking if there are enough masculine faces for male presenting players. Now, if we look at the masculine makeup, a lot of these to me still appear pretty feminine. Again, if you look at a lot of these older styles, they don't, but some of these, I mean, these just look distinctly feminine to me. So I can see where the majority also thought here that there weren't enough options. Now, given the overall satisfaction rating, where again, the majority of players were at a 1 to 4 range in terms of satisfaction, and that is the lowest amount of satisfaction. This is really not boding well for the game, and I don't think just a scaling system will solve these issues. There was some really great feedback, and if you guys want to pause and read some of these, you can. I'm going to scroll through, but a lot of people had some really good ideas about representation and how Royale High could improve the game experience for masculine presenting players. So definitely, if you guys want to read some of these, pause and take a look. But I agree that Royale High should in general just be getting more feedback from you guys. I know that was something that a lot of people were complaining about as well, is feeling like they're not heard. More communication with masculine players would make a huge difference. I completely agree on that front, and I would love to see them implement some sort of forums or some sort of feedback or forum or discussion in general so they could talk to the community as well. Now, it is great to see that some devs are taking this seriously, such as B Plays, and are trying to have some changes made that will represent players better. So we saw this note here, apparently in a B Plays Discord. Small note, I know I tried to explain my understanding of the mask changes in my stream, but I want to make it clear I'm not defending it. James just showed me how much smaller the mask stuff is now, and yikes. I'll talk to you more about it tomorrow, but by the sounds of it, the devs will be hearing you out and hopefully adjust them. And after this, we got the news about the slider system that is coming, but we still haven't had any more details than that, and I still haven't seen a lot of the players' concerns being addressed. And I think this slideshow here on the Royale High Roblox Reddit kind of just sums up how a lot of people feel. Year-round sets 0, total sets 13 usually have as many toggles. Year-round sets 4, total sets 20. Sets tend to have more toggles. Why do all mask players dress the same? LOL. Just trying to exist. OMG, all mask players wear the same hairs. Give us more than? Quiet, quit hating the devs. Be grateful you even got anything. It's a girl's game anyway. And here's another post that really puts into perspective mask hairs versus femme hairs added in the past few updates. So you can see here the feminine hairs that have been added in the most recent updates. And then look at the masculine hairs. Yeah, I don't think that that is really fair. I completely understand the feedback and the frustration that a lot of players have, and I do think it's valid to express these concerns in a constructive and a respectful manner to the developers and to the Royale High Valks page, and basically to anyone that you think is working on this issue or has addressed they would like this feedback. Again, don't go after people who just aren't actively working on the game or just random devs. If there are people who have said, such as B, hey, I'm working on this, there are people that are working on this, you're welcome to address that to them. And I as well will have links in the description of this video where you can post your feedback directly to me, and then maybe I can go ahead and attempt on my own to get this in front of the right eyes and ears and just get some more feedback and interaction from people who are actually in the community who have some positive and constructive ways that they think this could be improved. Also, make sure you reply to that Twitter thread. I will also have a link to that in the description of this video. But thank you to everybody who shared your addresses and concerns. Make sure you guys check out those replies so you can really hear from voices in the community. And I hope you enjoyed that interview as well, so we could just actually directly hear from players that are being affected by this. I certainly am hoping for some more inclusion going forward. I'm hoping that the slider fixes some things, and I'm hoping that the slider will also include different body types as well. So not just masculine, maybe we could have a slider that actually makes things more plus size, because we've heard lots of talk of, oh, this item is plus size, but it's not. But in general, I just think the inclusion in the game has a long way to go, and with, as we've seen just from the polls and just from the community speaking themselves, masculine players make up a very large portion of people in the game. This is not just a game for girls. So please, let's do our best to make this inclusive for everybody of all shapes, sizes, sexual orientations, body types, races, creeds, religions, all the above. And I think right now what we need to focus on is figuring out how we can actively make a positive difference for the new slider that's coming up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you have notifications turned on, because I am going to be discussing more things about the Royale High community that I think we should all be talking about, that I know a lot of you guys are already talking about, but a lot of creators aren't talking about, and I think it's important to just use my platform and my voice to step up and discuss those things. I will have daily uploads coming back up again, and I'm still going to be doing streams. Even though there aren't going to be a lot of updates rolling out right now, I still plan on discussing the state of the community. So make sure you don't miss those uploads. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you for everybody who spoke out and shared your voice and your experience with me. And I will see you in the next video, humans. Goodbye.